Hey guys, how's it going? So, today I'm bringing you a new tutorial I've been asked for a lot, and that's to show how I actually master my songs. And for 500 subscribers, I figured this would be useful to pretty much all of you just starting out, and maybe even to the expert people, I don't know. You can always tell me if I'm doing something wrong. Music's subjective, all that nonsense. And before I get into the video, I do just want to thank every one of you guys for viewing, liking, commenting, subscribing. You're all so amazing and you're making my dream come true every day. Just seeing how many people are interacting. I'm just hoping that you find these videos helpful, and I'm not going to stop anytime soon. So, yeah, let's get into it, I guess. So, let's start out by turning everything off. And the first thing I have here is a utility. And this is just to make sure I'm not peaking in any way. I think in the original track I am, so I just brought it down a few decibels. That's literally all it's doing. And the next thing I have here is an instance of Ozone 7, and I have a few different things on here. The first thing I have on is an EQ that's bringing down the 3.5 hertz range just a very tiny bit, because later on I'm bringing it down even more, and then boosting the high end just a tiny bit. That's all the EQ is doing. The next thing I have here is dynamics, and as you can see, I didn't actually mess with any of the threshold stuff. I just messed with the ratio. I turned the bass to 6, the mid frequencies to 4 and 5, and then the very high to 7 to 1. And I also moved around the bands just a tiny bit. I think I clicked this learn button, but I could be wrong. Maybe I just moved up the bass frequency. Can't remember. But that was just to adjust for my specific track, because every track is different. And the learn button here is a very good tool for adjusting to what you need for your track. So the next section we have here is an imager, and all I'm doing here is just bringing down the bass frequency width all the way to mono, and then adding some stereo width to everything else. That makes sure the bass is really punchy and it's not interfering with any of the width of the mid and high frequencies. And these are just, again, adding some stereo width and some thickness to the track. Then the last thing on this first instance I have is dynamic EQ, just bringing down that same 3.5 kilohertz or hertz frequency, because it can be a little harsh to the ear sometimes, and I want to make sure that my track is as nice sounding and appealing to your ears as possible. Cool. And then the next thing I have here is where most of the loudness of my track is going to come from. So as you can see, I have the dynamics here. I only have 2 bands. In case you don't know how to get rid of a band, all you gotta do is right click, remove band. But what I've done here actually, or I guess you can click that. I didn't know that. We learn things every day. So the thing I did here was turn off all of the parallel compression. This little bar here on both bands is completely dry, so there's not actually any compression going on. I'm just using this to bring up the levels as a whole. So the first thing I do is I solo out my bass band and keep an eye on my metering here, my mastering, and I move this gain up until it's just at 0 decibels. So I'll listen to the track. And as you can see, that's just before I'm clipping it all. So I keep it at 10.8, and then I solo my mid frequency out and adjust according to my ear and the speakers. Again, mastering takes a little bit, so I listen to it in my car, I listen to it in headphones, monitors, and I just adjust this level. 7.7 was a good range for me. And yeah, just again, listening to everything by ear. And this just brings up that loudness by a lot. So with it on, I think I soloed it out. Let me just double check. Yeah. So without it on, this is what the track sounds like. and with it on. And as you can see, I'm redlining really hard. So what I want to do is, you can do this one of two ways. You can either put on a maximizer, which is just a limiter, and then bring this down to adjust however much you need it to, so turn on fast or wherever the character should be, IRC4, or you can do IRC3 and clipping, and that's one way to do it, but I generally don't like to do that very much. I don't know, it brings a little too much distortion for my taste into it. So what I like to do is throw on a little glue compressor, turn the attack to 3 here, turn the release all the way down and the ratio all the way down, and adjust my makeup gain, turn on the soft clip, which acts as a limiter, and again, just listen to it by ear. So without it, and then with it. And yeah, I'm also keeping an eye on my spectrum here, because if you go into Ableton, you'll listen to a few different tracks and look at the spectrum, you can see that all the bass frequency usually sits about -6 decibels, and then the rest again is just to ear, to taste. And that's basically what I base my mastering off of, is other tracks. I listen to other tracks that sound similar and try to adjust it to those settings. And as you can see, this is my little RMS reader. You'll see down here that it shows what my RMS is at. Usually -7, -6-ish is good for an EDM track, especially if you're talking about the loudness war or whatever. You know, I'd have varying opinions on that, but as you can see with everything on, I'm sitting consistently at about -5.7, which is what I wanted it at. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching the videos, liking, commenting. It's all amazing, and every day I look at it, you guys are making my dream come true, and I just can't thank you guys enough for it. I do have a Twitter and an Instagram now, so if you're interested in what I do, feel free to follow those. Keep updated with my Twitter. That's where I'm going to be posting mostly when I'm releasing a video and what I'm releasing it about. And I'd love to talk to you guys more. Feel free to message me, at me. I don't really care. I just like interacting with you guys and wanting to know what videos you want to see. So again, thanks for 500 subscribers, and I'll see you guys later.